Hello, I'm Dominic Walker, JMW's Inside Man. I'm with Nick McAleenan. Nick is a partner in JMW's Media, Entertainment and Communications Department. Hello, Nick.
Hi, Dominic.
Nick, so we thought we'd left phone hacking in the dark, distant past, but it seems to have reared its ugly head again recently with Princess Haya and also a member of the House of Lords. Can you explain what happened, please?
Yes, this story emerges from the breakdown of the relationship between Sheikh Mohammed, who is one of the most powerful men in the Middle East, the Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE, and his estranged wife, Princess Haya. And the couple's dispute has been before the English High Court. And one of the issues to emerge from the High Court's review of the case is an allegation that Sheikh Mohammed has essentially been snooping on his wife, surveilling her. And this is a really it's an interesting issue. Obviously, not just because they're obviously a kind of a world power couple, but because it's something that does actually affect a lot of people in relationships. I mean, you do see cases where people have recorded conversations in order to kind of prove that perhaps there's abuse taking place, or they surveil their partner, perhaps by using spyware in order to prove that that an affair is taking place. And in this case, what seems to have happened is that the UAE had access to a particular type of spyware, which is produced by an Israeli company called NSO, and they basically sell this kit to governments, usually to monitor terrorists and high-level criminals. But in this case, it appears, according to the court reports, to have been used for a kind of a private domestic dispute, family proceedings between the two parties.
So, Nick, in England and Wales, is it possible for the victims of phone hacking to get financial compensation?
It depends on the circumstances, of course, but in principle, this kind of behaviour engages all sorts of different legal issues. So, obviously, when you think about access to people's phones, there's all sorts of private information and business information and so on your phone. So if someone gets access to your phone, it might create a cause of action based in privacy, misuse of your private information, breach of your human rights, perhaps, breach of confidential information. It could engage your data rights, of course, as well, because some of the information on there will be your personal data. It could also fall foul of criminal law. Perhaps there's been kind of interception of messages which can offend some criminal laws. Perhaps there's been Computer Misuse Act offences committed. So it's a bit of a Pandora's box of different issues. And obviously, if a claimant can prove that their legal rights have been infringed based on the evidence, then there may be various different remedies available to them, including compensation, damages. But they might also be looking for injunctions to stop what's happened being repeated. They might want to see what's actually been taken and obtain other orders from the court.
And so if somebody has had their phone hacked, for instance, Nick, what should they do?
I mean, obviously, they need to consider what their objectives are. What do they want to achieve? Perhaps they have suspicions that their phone's been hacked. If they know their phone's been hacked, then it may be that they want to take legal advice on their options. It may depend on the nature of the relationship with the other party as to what they want to do next. They may want to, perhaps through lawyers, instruct forensic IT experts to really look at the evidence of what exactly has happened with their device and really kind of scope out what kind of wrongdoing has actually taken place. So in the first instance, they could take advice and then take things from there.
Thank you very much for your insight, Nick. And of course, I know that you would be happy to speak to anybody who's been a victim of phone hacking and provide advice on next steps as well. If you'd like to contact Nick, you can email insideman@jmw.co.uk or call 0161 82 81 999.
I'm Dominic Walker, JMW's Inside Man.